Howdy folks, I'm Guarded Garlic, genially greeting gregarious gorillas.
I'm Amber.
And here are more gregarious gorillas for us to greet. But I don't know why, and I don't know how. Alright folks, and our first letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Laughing at My Crying Ex-Husband and Calling His Suffering Karma? My ex-husband divorced me 3 years ago. When we got married, we agreed that we weren't going to have any kids. I never wanted them, and he said that he didn't really want them. So yeah, 4 years into our marriage, he changed his mind, and he chose to divorce me because I wouldn't go back on our agreement and give him children. I'm not really a big believer in divorce. I was ready to be married for the rest of my life. We had a good marriage, but I guess he didn't love me that much if he picked kids that didn't even exist over me. Right after our divorce, he almost instantly remarried. He got his new wife pregnant right away, and they have 2 kids together. In the 3 years since then, I finished my higher education, and I've accepted a higher paying job in healthcare. Life has actually been pretty good for me, and I've gotten to the point where I think I'm ready to start looking to settle down again. Yesterday morning, my ex showed up on my doorstep crying. I figured something pretty awful must have happened to him, so I let him in. And I got him a drink. He started going on and crying about how awful his life is. He apparently hates his 2 kids. One of them is disabled and maybe autistic, and he has no money due to the kid being so expensive. His wife yells at him all the time. She got fat after having kids and doesn't want to lose the weight. She never puts out. He can never go anywhere anymore. And he said that he wants a divorce from his new wife and he regrets leaving me. He asked if I would take him back and said that he learned his lesson. I couldn't help but laugh at him. It was so pitiful. His audacity also kind of astounded me. I told him that with 2 kids to support and his lack of loyalty, he is not a catch. And I definitely won't take him back. And maybe this was karma for him divorcing me. He's mad and called me a jerk and said that he thought that I would be more supportive and would at least turn him down nicely. Am I the jerk? All right, folks, what do you think?
No, not the jerk. I mean, honestly, Opie could have been a lot more cruel. Like, that was a fairly nice rejection, all things considered, after everything he's done.
Yeah.
Like, here's this guy who divorces OP, and then he gets what he wants, but realizes, oh wow, kids are hard, and I don't have the life I wanted. I just want to abandon my children who need me and go back with OP.
Well, and then also take a look at it like this, right? He went to OP before divorcing her because he wants a fallback or something like that, right? He wants to make sure that he can go from one relationship to another relationship, or maybe he doesn't have the money to support the kids if he, gets divorced or something like that. So he's really just kind of like looking for a safety float, right? So I think that even adds in a little bit more grossness to this story.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
And then on top of that being like, oh, my kid is, I hate my kids and my wife and stuff like that. Like, what kind of individual is he at this point in time, right?
I mean, not a very good person, very clearly. Like, I understand that, disability, because of the society we live in, it can be expensive to accommodate disabilities, and it can be stressful and hard, but if you cannot see yourself loving a disabled child, then maybe it's best not to have children.
Yeah, and I mean, that's actually a really big reality that a lot of people aren't prepared for. If you want to have kids, then you should also be prepared for the fact that kids might have disabilities in some way, shape, or form. How are you going to react to that? Will you still love your kids no matter what they are, right? And no matter what they turn into, or I don't mean to make it sound like they're turning into monsters.
But yeah, can you love?
How will they turn out, right?
Yeah. Like, because, sometimes people have this idealized image of what a child will be, and you got to understand, they're not going to be a mini you.
Yeah.
They're not going to be like this perfect little doll you can mold, and, if that's what you're expecting, it's best not to have kids.
Exactly. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And Laughing Fox Create says, he does realize that divorcing his wife doesn't make his responsibility for his kids go away, right? Right? And OP replies, he suggested that he would pay child support and we would basically pretend that the last 3 years never happened. Some wishful thinking right there, right? And why didn't he just divorce his wife, right? He's unhappy. Go and divorce your wife And, at some point in time down the road, maybe talk to your ex, not maybe about getting back together with her, but apologize for leaving her and saying that he regrets doing it, and maybe, try to rebuild a friendship with your old friend. But I mean, at this point in time, I think that this ship has sailed for getting back together with them,
Well,
right?
it has. I mean, honestly, I think OP's better off without someone like this. Well,
Mm-hmm.
like, because the way he body shames his wife,
Oh,
too.
yeah, the body shaming.
Like, don't you dare put on weight, OP, or he's gonna do the exact same thing to you. Type
Yeah.
of, it's just one of those horrible situations where, and it always frustrates me when people, get married, expect their wife to produce a child, and then when she has kids, they're like, why'd your body change? It's like, I mean, she just popped out an entire human being. What do you mean?
Yeah. And May Feel This says, I feel sorry for his kids and his wife, though she did choose this. I mean, it's really hard to say. Like, I mean, I feel bad for the wife and the kids
Mm-hmm.
more than I feel bad for him, because he seemed to have been, for all intents and purposes, really into this idea of having kids and wanting a family and all these
Mm-hmm.
other things. And so he probably put on a very different face when the relationship started
Yeah.
than what he is right now. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if she was upset because he isn't pulling his weight around the house too,
Well, I
right?
mean, it sounds like he probably isn't, and it's actually especially there's really really high divorce rates for parents with disabled children because it tends to be that one partner is doing all the work, all the caring, and then the other partner is upset when they don't have time from their partner and
Mm-hmm.
whatnot.
All right, folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a jerk for involving the police after my friend tried to steal my boyfriend and sabotage our engagement? Hi, everyone. I'm a 22-year-old female, and I'm dealing with an absolutely wild situation involving my boyfriend, a 24-year-old male, whom I'll refer to as Jake, and a friend of mine, Lauren, a 23-year-old female. I could really use some perspective on whether I handle things right. Jake and I have been together for about 2 years now. He's incredibly supportive, loving, and to top it all off, financially well off. We live in a beautiful home and have been planning for our future together. Jake proposed to me a few months ago, and we were both excited to start this new chapter in our lives. Here's where things took a turn for the bizarre. Lauren, a longtime friend of mine, recently went through a tough breakup and needed a place to stay. I offered her a room in our house, thinking that it would be a kind gesture and a way to support her during this difficult time. When Laura moved in, things started to feel off almost immediately. At first, it was just mild flirtatious comments about how handsome Jake is, and compliments on his physique, and remarks about how lucky I was to have such a great guy. I initially thought that maybe I was being too sensitive, but then her behavior took a more alarming turn. Lauren began to make increasingly inappropriate comments and would find excuses to touch Jake or sit close to him. I spoke to Jake about it, and he assured me that he was doing his best to ignore it. He was always polite, but clearly uncomfortable with Lauren's advancements. The situation reached its peak during a surprise proposal that Jake had planned for me. It was supposed to be a magical and intimate moment. Jake had arranged a beautiful evening with just the two of us and had planned to propose in our favorite spot in the garden. Lauren knew about the proposal because Jake had mentioned it to her while planning. She seemed supportive to him, but when the day came, she took things to a whole new level. While Jake was about to propose, Lauren somehow managed to show up uninvited. As Jake got down on one knee and began his heartfelt proposal, Lauren swooped in, grabbed the ring from his hand, placed it on her own finger, and declared that she was now engaged to him. Jake and I were stunned. I tried to get the ring back, but Lauren refused and even claimed that she had always wanted Jake and that he was meant to be with her. The situation was chaotic and humiliating, and I had to forcefully ask Lauren to leave. Later, when I got a few messages from my best friend and the mother about Lauren, she had taken a picture of the ring and posted it on her Instagram. Not only that, she also told mutual friends about it. My close friends, including Jake's older brother, messaged me to see if everything was fine. We then sent out a long Instagram post about how we were engaged and things didn't end there. Lauren started showing up at our house uninvited, often making scenes in a public place and causing disturbances. She even began making threats, claiming that she had evidence of Jake being unfaithful, which she said that would ruin our relationship. This escalated quickly, and we were getting increasingly worried about our safety and privacy. After multiple failed attempts to resolve the situation calmly, and Lauren increasingly becoming erratic, we had to involve the police. We filed a police report about the harassment and the incident with the stolen ring. The police took our complaint seriously, and they issued a restraining order against Lauren. I don't think that it's going to end here, but I'm going to wait and see. Thank you for reading. Edit 1. Okay, guys, I had to post this as I got a lot of comments saying that this was fake. This is not fake. I went through my post and I realized that I forgot to mention that she gave the ring back at that time and a later when she started showing up at my house uninvited and she stole it in that time. The police just came to our doorstep a few hours ago and we got the ring back, while she had also had to pay for the emotional damages. I came here to update you that I got the ring back and saw the other comments about my previous post that was uploaded by my younger sister. She wanted to share about what had happened to her because she saw videos on YouTube about Am I the Jerks. So I let her, and she would check on it from time to time, but then I stopped showing her the comments because of the hate. I also let her type it in, so yeah. And guys, say that it's fake and all, but it's real. My boyfriend, soon to be husband, worked hard to get the money that he has. I'm sorry if you all think that this post is fake, but it's real. Lauren is going to go to jail for 8 years. All right, folks, what do you think about this?
I mean, if we assume everything is real, I will give my advice assuming everything is real.
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming it's real.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know why this. I mean, there isn't anything in here that I find like so outlandish that I would say that this is impossible to happen, right? Like bees from the other day. I don't know about that one. Who releases bees into a crowd of people? But this, I can buy it. I can buy it.
The update gave me some questions, but
I think that they just kind of muddled their way through it. I don't think they were very clear in their update.
yeah. But that aside, we're gonna assume this is real. Yeah, no, I don't think you did the wrong thing, OP. In fact, I think you probably did the necessary thing. If she was constantly, harassing you, you did need a restraining order against her.
Yeah, I think that this is a really odd situation where she clearly has had some kind of mental health crisis here. She's treating the ring like it's some kind of royal crown where if you sneak the crown, grab the crown and put it on your head and declare yourself king of the kingdom, then you become the king. Which, I mean, I don't think actually works that way, but it's depicted that way in like the movies and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, it's like, oh, if I put this engagement ring on, he has to be engaged to me.
Yeah. But I think that this shows like a darker thing that may be going on with her. I think that she needs mental health resources more than anything. And I feel that OP had no choice at a certain point but to call the police and try to get this worked out in that respect, right? Because if someone's harassing you, they can become even more increasingly erratic, they can become dangerous, and that's just not a very good thing to have happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not good for OP, and it wouldn't be good for Lauren either. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. Alright folks, and our next letter is titled, I'm a 24-year-old male and my girlfriend, a 26-year-old female, faked a pregnancy for a day while I was at work. Do I just accept that this happened? 6 months relationship, not living together. I was at work when she texted me, what would you do if I was pregnant? I said that I would think that she was lying due to some medical improbabilities. She says, well, I am. Naturally, I'm terrified at this life changer, which I don't feel entirely prepared for. The thoughts and possibilities in my head all day were both emotionally exciting and tormenting. I was honestly ready to drop everything and overwrite any future plans that I had, and to shift focus onto the upcoming baby. Later, she tells me that she's unsure if she wants me to be around the baby, which sent absolute chills down my spine. Something along the lines of, I can visit sometimes, and more comments about how she doesn't want to talk about the topic right now. At this point, I'm in an uphill battle to understand what is happening and why I'm suddenly being semi-cut off from my future child. The topic was the only thing on my mind. Mentally, this was stressing me out, and physically, I appeared exhausted. It was really affecting me at work, and I was probably visibly distracted. On my way home, we are on the phone, and I get a call. I'm not actually pregnant. She talks about how it was actually a test that I had passed. She says that she loves me and none of it was real. It is okay if you are mad at me. I'm not okay with what happened today, nor did I deserve it. It was a very real situation to me that I was ready to make changes for. Is this normal or acceptable behavior? Am I supposed to pretend to be okay with this? Alright folks, what do you think? Is OP supposed to pretend to be okay with this?
No, and it is not acceptable behavior. Honestly, like, this might be worth ending a relationship over. What she did was cruel and manipulative.
I mean, I'm going to take that a step further and say this is worth ending the relationship over. Just say that OP should end the relationship. And I didn't mean to cut you off there.
No, it's fine.
But yeah, I think in this situation, he really needs to think long and hard about this relationship because this is a 6-month relationship. She's already starting to do horribly manipulative things, right? And give him a very traumatic day on top of that.
Right. She, while he's at work, basically makes him freak out the whole day. And then it's like, oh yeah, it was just a test.
Yeah, relationship tests aren't great.
No.
And I mean, if you're getting to the point where you're trying to test a relationship, then it probably isn't the right relationship for you.
Right. I mean, either one, you need therapy to work through like insecurities or jealousy issues, or two, you are have reasons to be concerned with the relationship and probably need to walk.
And I mean, she could have floated this as a question and had a discussion with him as an adult and been like, well, we should really figure out what would we do if I was pregnant or something like that, right?
Right. That's absolutely an important question to have. Even if it's improbable, like it is important to sit down and have that conversation one-on-one when you're both in the same place and not, a random text when you're at work.
Yeah. So what she did here was manipulative, it was cruel, and it was unnecessary, right? And OP should absolutely walk away from this relationship. This is the first of many, many relationship tests. And I get horrible feelings about this. I don't think that OP is going to be in a happy or healthy or loving relationship if they have to put up with this every 6 months. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. Alright folks, it is tea time. Grab your beverages of choice. I've got some tea right here, and Amber, she has a joke.
Why couldn't the pony sing karaoke?
Because they were a little phony.
She was a little horse.
Oh, I should have thought a little bit harder about that one and not just said the first thing that came into my head. Yeah, that makes sense. It does make sense. And I have licorice spice.
Tomorrow's joke is hilarious in my mind, so we'll see if you get a kick out of it.
We'll see. We'll see tomorrow. Alright folks, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. Happy, wonderful, wacky Wednesday, folks. Friday, Junior's Eve, Hump Day, all of those things. Amber, we need some kind of moral advice and or guidance. And please, have it on crawling back to your ex after you divorced them because you wanted children and they didn't.
Don't do it. You owe it to your children to be a better person.
Yeah. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye.
Howdy, folks. I'm Guarded Garlic, genuinely greeting gregarious Wow. Howdy, folks. I'm Guarded Garlic, genially greeting gregarious gorillas. Howdy, folks. I'm Guarded Garlic, genially greeting gregarious Howdy, folks. I'm guarded. Howdy, folks. I'm Guarded Garlic. Genuinely. Howdy, folks. I'm Guarded Garlic. Genially greeting gregarious You've apparently discovered a glitch in my brain.